from watch me whip, watch me nay nay.
Yeah, that's what you always want to hear. So.
Watch me whip, watch me nay nay. Into what? What was that music again?
This is Vivaldi.
Vivaldi.
Four seasons, Vivaldi, four seasons.
See, you know.
Autumn. There's Primavera, autumn, I forget what they are, summer, and there's got to be one more winter.
You know all the classics. I know all the today's hits, baby.
Yeah, Whip It or whatever.
Watch me whip, watch me nay nay. Okay, we're running late. This woman seems very, very interesting because I think I have a touch of ADD or ADHD.
I'm not saying
you know
anything.
what though? I do very well in sales, and when I talk to doctors, when I talk to them, I can focus. Sometimes I can't tell a story because I go off banter or whatever it's called.
You can't read a simple introduction because you're telling a long story.
Dr. Mikell, Suzanne Parsons is a doctor of chiropractic, a certified clinical nutritionalist, and a diplomat. Am I saying that right? Of the American Clinical Board of Nutrition and Chiropractic Neurology, in addition to being a part of a certified gluten practitioner. She is the founder, we mentioned this before, because this is why she's here, of Naturopath Health Center in Fresno, California. We're here, baby, where she helps women thrive in a toxic world. We need this, actually, so they can have the energy they desire and the body that they deserve, enrolling them into Detox Done Right. Conquer your yeasty beasties. I love this. Once and for all program. Her community views as a holistic detective and developed a devoted on the following local TV show, Central Valley Today. She's a frequent guest on National Telesummits, is a host for Getting Real with Mr. P, Real Life Dr. P, Real Life, Real Truth, Real Experts, and Real Food, and is a frequent guest on Central Valley Talks. Dr. Parsons is passionate about getting to the root of the problem, ensuring the most precious part of the body is health and balance and being in the brain. Without further ado, Dr. Mikell. Long I, Mikell.
Well, so everybody here's named Michael. Our tech is Michael, I'm Mike, and Mikell.
But do you go by Dr. Parsons, or what do you like?
I have many names.
You do?
I do. I have some people call me Dr. P. My nephews call me Dr.
Parsons.
Auntie.
I think that's a cool name.
But you're kind of like me because my full name is Athena Eurydice Matsikis Pavona.
Okay, that tops mine.
Yeah. I'm like, just call me Athena.
Well, I use Suzanne to let people know that I'm a female.
Right,
okay, that's true. Because your first name.
Quick question. What's with the gluten all of a sudden? Was it here 20, 30 years ago? Is it a new thing?
Gluten has always been in wheat, barley, and rye. It's a natural component of it. There's also a form of gluten in like rice. But the form of gluten in wheat, barley, and rye, through the natural evolution of those products, has more gluten added to it. So if I were going to order a pizza dough and I was a chef, I could choose how much gluten I'm going to add to it because it changes the texture of the product. So we're getting more gluten, and the species of those grains has evolved faster than we have. So we no longer have the enzymes to completely digest it. So those partially digested proteins are what can cause problems in people who are susceptible.
It seems like there's so many people all of a sudden that are gluten intolerant. Is that the word? Gluten
intolerant, yes, or someone who's been diagnosed with celiac. Part of that is because we're more aware. We now have the capability to actually do testing to see, is that one of the drivers of the inflammatory process. All disease starts with inflammation. Doesn't matter what the problem is, there's always an inflammatory process. So if gluten is one of the drivers, then that can have profound effects. So 2,000 studies have been done just on celiac. Now we're looking outside of the intestine to see what is it doing for the brain, for example.
You see? Yeah. Okay, so does gluten matter in this, or this could be someone with ADHD, or it doesn't matter? You're focusing on the brain, or does it have something to do with the gluten you're saying?
It depends. Everyone is unique biochemically, so I always look at everyone as an individual. I don't assume everyone has to have this gluten issue.
Right.
I am unfortunately one of those that a little bit slams me, but not everyone is that sensitive. But in the example of ADHD, the brain is working too fast. And in one of the tests that I do in the office, we do an actual brain EEG. We're doing a brain map to see what kind of brain waves is your brain producing. Now, meditation can affect that. As a side note, that's why you feel better when you're meditating. But gluten can drive and increase one of the brain waves. And when that brain wave is increased, it could also indicate there's brain inflammation.
Interesting.
And you don't want your brain inflamed. I mean, you want to be hot looking on the outside, but not hot inflammatory on the inside.
Now, are we saying there might be or there is a tie between gluten and ADHD?
There is a correlation. Now, I can't say that every person diagnosed with it. I'm not going to go to that extent.
Right.
But for those of us in the natural medicine world, that's one of the first places we look, and I can test to see in the office, is this a part of what's driving their brain?
So it doesn't hurt anybody to eat less gluten, I would imagine. Your body doesn't crave gluten.
No, we do not have to live on gluten. There's some benefits of whole wheat, whole grain, but there's also some negatives. Most people are consuming too many of those complex carbohydrates, and we're not moving to burn them off. So
we're getting fat
it's
because of it.
Fluffy. There's a lot of fluffy
not you two,
people.
but some of us are. What about after lunch? When I come back from lunch, I'm just wiped out. I have to sleep.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel right now.
It's probably it could be gluten, or it just could be that you ate too much quantity, or it could be that you've eaten a food that you're actually allergic to.
Oh, okay.
So an allergy symptom could be fatigue.
I notice when I
That's
just
true.
lay out the carbs at lunch, I'm fine all day. But if I eat a heavy carb lunch, I am out.
But I also want to clarify, people use the word carbs willy-nilly. Complex carbohydrates are usually where we get into trouble. Those are the things that have starch and sugar in them, like a sweet potato, pasta, bread. Even the gluten-free things still have a lot of sugar. But the low-carb, vegetable kinds of things, those are metabolized without the impact of all of the other stuff. Because if you have too much sugar and your body can't use it, it gets stored as fat.
Right.
So if you want
Anyway, we had all these personal questions we need to answer. I'm sure you didn't come just to answer our questions. You
Well,
got
I
a
could.
Fancy machine here or something?
Yeah, what is this?
Yes. So you were spot on about mentioning ADHD, because as you know, that affects not only the person suffering with it, but everyone else in the family. So if you're dealing with a child with ADHD, then you're going to have homework meltdowns, complaints from the teacher. If you're an adult suffering with it, you're going to have a hard time focusing, staying on task, keeping that mind focused on the one thing to get done instead of having the 20 things that we're juggling.
Yeah.
So with the improvement of technology, we're able to once again do a brain map that gives us the directions. But now we have a take-home unit to help families help to get that brain back into balance again. So when you're tired and you need to perk up because you need to get that energy up, getting the brain waves back into balance so you generate your own energy is something very easy. So with this take-home unit, it's very simple to use. And let's say someone's having insomnia and they need to be able to go to sleep. So I'm going to set it on the knockout category here. And when I press play...
I like that. Knockout sounds
like
great
that?
right now.
Let me switch over here.
And it makes some sound into these headphones?
Yes. So if I put it on the knockout, you'll see the lights flashing. Now, the lights are flashing at the speed we want the brain to work at. So the lights are acting as the coach. You put the glasses on, and we can control the brightness of the lights. We want to turn these down as low as possible.
Can you turn them around towards the camera? Or the back side of the... Looks the same either way,
Yes.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Then with the headphones, there's tones that are created to help the brain get into the right brainwave frequency. We also put in a little plug here so the kids can listen to their favorite music. And this was originally created to help kids focus on their homework. So instead of the hour and a half...
The glasses and the headphones.
And the
This
headphones.
is what my son needs. It's hard for him to focus on
It's
homework.
hard because everything is a
You
distraction.
need to
Oh
take
my
your son
God.
to Dr. Parsons.
I think I do.
Yes,
My
it would
husband's
change
watching a
their
TV
world.
show. I'm like, turn off the TV. He needs to do this.
Right, because it's when the brain can't filter out
Awful.
the distractions,
Yeah.
then you're going to be constantly fighting that. And as a parent, how frustrating is that?
Oh, my
We've got
God.
30 minutes,
Horrible,
just
huh?
get your homework done,
Yes.
right? And then you get angry and crabby. Then you don't feel good. Then you have to unwind and have a glass of wine to change your brain waves,
Oh, yeah.
right? So this is a safe, drug-free alternative to help get the brain back into balance.
I had 3 kids. 2 of them did their homework like that. The other would be like 4 or 5 hours every night. Just we'd have to sit with them for hours on end.
That's what I'm thinking with Rocco. I have to like sit with him and say, Okay, I had to explain everything to him again. I'm like, why can't you just do it? I don't understand.
Well, the interesting thing with the brain is because we do the brain map, we can see where the imbalance is. Is it in the frontal lobes making those executive decisions? Having appropriate decisions. It would be appropriate or expected for a 2-year-old to drop their pants and pee on a tree. But if I see you doing that outside, I'm going to think that's a little inappropriate.
The older we get, we do things like
Exactly, right? And that's all about the frontal lobes. So we're going to keep an eye on him at the art harp.
Art hub.
Make sure there's no trees.
Yeah, exactly. He might, do something we don't
A
know.
little inappropriate.
ADHD boy.
We're getting signal that we've fallen way, way, way behind.
Oh,
on the
no.
show. But we have your website up and your number. We're going to let
Yes.
you conclude and say anything you want. Say
Yes,
as long
are
as
we
you want.
forgetting, like, before we let you go, I mean, anything that we forgot to mention about this and how people can get a hold of you?
Yes, so if you know that you're out of balance, if it's hard to stay focused at work, if you're having memory problems, if your child is struggling in school, the answer is not to drug them up into submission. It's to find out why they're out of balance.
Okay.
On my website, info@biofeedbackfresno.com, there's a lot of information all about the brain. And then there's a way that you can connect with me and come in so we can do a brain map and see what's going on.
That is awesome. Where are you in Fresno?
We are at First and Herndon.
First and Herndon.
First
okay.
and Herndon. Mm-hmm.
All right, very cool. I might send Little Rocco over to you.
They get a brain map at least and just see what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yes, so you
Mhm.
could just
Yeah.
do that, and I mean, how do you just basically test them with this stuff? Is
No,
that,
this is actually the treatment part. The brain map
treatment
is an
part.
actual, it's the same test that a medical neurologist would run if there were seizure activity.
Okay.
But we're able to do a modified version of that in-house.
Yes.
So you're not having to go to the hospital and go through all
Oh
that
yeah,
drama.
no. I think his is minor,
But
but
this
it'd be interesting
equipment,
to
her
see.
son might, if his diagnosis such, might do his homework with these glasses
Correct.
on
With the appropriate
and the
setting
headphones on.
based on his map.
And we had somebody who worked here, and she put these on him, and instantly he said, "Oh, I see the difference." So,
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Interesting. All right, well, give Dr.
Parsons.
Mikell.
Memory. She's demonstrating memory issues.
I'll have to think of Mikell. 447-1404. Give her a call. All right, we have a couple more guests coming up next on CentralValleyTalk.com with Mike Briggs and Athena.
We'll be right back.